Get your tissues and be prepared to potentially break up with your old ethnicity estimate because Ancestry's biggest update is now available. If you're watching this, there's a good chance either you or someone you know has taken a DNA test with Ancestry. After all, they have 25 million people in their database. So if it has been a long time since you logged into your account, you may want to check in to see some of the new features you may have missed out on and this latest update. So this update contains changes both in the user interface, slight terminology changes, and additional regions added, which for me is the best part. When you go to the DNA summary page, this is how it looks from the top. And you can see they now call your ethnicity estimate your ancestral regions and call your former communities ancestral journeys. You also get a sneak peek of your traits. Traits for me is not something I engage with much, but you may find it fun to check if Ancestry has you figured out or not. When you scroll down the summary page, you see info about the features you may have access to depending on your subscription level if you have one. And at the bottom of the summary page is where you will find a link to your through lines and other features. When you click on your ancestral regions on the summary page, it will take you to what used to be called your ethnicity estimate, and you'll see your regions display below with your percentage estimates, including the map, which will appear alongside it as always. Now this is where it starts to get exciting because Ancestry has now added more detail to our results. From the top of this info page, you have easy access to the regions and communities list to see all the regions and journeys that are now available and may appear in your results. By the way, you can access this page I'm showing you by clicking on the View All Places Tested link at the bottom of your Ancestral Regions page under the header Regions Tested. And as you scroll down, you can see the list of regions that are new from Africa, Europe, and Asia. And at the bottom of this page are the all-important FAQs, and I recommend looking over these if you're not experienced in genetic testing or genealogy because people can often have a misunderstanding of how much a commercial DNA test can tell you about your genetic makeup or family history, so it's good to give those a look over. If you have the Pro Tools add-on, you'll be able to see which parent or both passed on the region you inherited. And at the bottom of a specific region page in your estimate, you'll see stories. Now, stories and historical facts are not new to Ancestry, but the layout, some of the information, and how it appears is. Unsurprisingly, as a genealogy nerd, I've got access to multiple family members' tests, so I've been having fun revisiting everyone's results and updates, especially since they have many of the new regions added now appearing in their results. You can see here a small percentage of the Netherlands, one of the new regions in a family member's test results. You will find that some of the regions have a lot more stories than others also. So some have over 30, and some regions, like the newly added Netherlands region, just have 1 or 2. Now, arguably one of the best aspects of this update is Ancestry's introduction of African ethnic groups. This is particularly exciting for people who are descendants of Africans who were enslaved under the system of New World chattel slavery in the Western Hemisphere, because generational slavery often caused a complete cultural and linguistic break of the descendants from their ancestors' origins. Ancestry has a video available that gives you an introduction to this aspect of their update. So now for people who have certain African regions in their regional DNA profile, what you will see now displayed under your percentage are ethnic groups for that region. Ancestry states in the print above that this is because you share DNA with at least one person in their reference panel that belongs to one of these ethnic groups, which I think is kind of cool. Although, of course, you could share more than one and perhaps have a connection to each group. When you click on a specific ethnicity tribe, you will be given a little more information about that specific group, and like the other regions, this will include region stories. I think this is great and brings a real human element to looking at ancestry and possible connections other than just regions and percentages. Now, of course, many people with African ancestry have been doing this type of exploring and research on their own when it comes to trying to understand where they come from or by testing with companies that specialize in African ancestry. But I do like that Ancestry is pushing forward with trying to give us more detail as much as technology will allow. Everyone wants to feel like they are getting their money's worth when they take one of these tests, and in my opinion, adding things like this is moving in the right direction. It is worth mentioning that Ancestry does inform you that you are not assigned to a specific ethnic group, and how instead their reference panel, which I previously mentioned, plays a part in why you see these smaller ethnic groups in your ancestral regions. However, having this additional information can be great to help people connect with their African origins and aid in understanding of known history and traditions that their ancestors belong to. Seeing DNA potentially help put those missing pieces together, which normally might be difficult otherwise, I think is really exciting. And again, I think it brings a more human element to people's DNA results. If you're interested in the numbers of individuals used in Ancestry's reference panel, the info is available on their site. And as you can see, they have over 100,000 people so far in their panel database. If you do check out the new update, don't forget to compare your old results with your new ones in case there are any changes. You can find that at the bottom of your Ancestral Regions page when you click the link See What Changed and FAQs. And there you can have a look for any changes and download for safekeeping. That's all for me. Just wanted to give a quick rundown of the cool update, and hopefully the next time you hear from me, it'll be a short video on the ancient Egyptians. Bye.